It is 1:14. I think I've done a decent amount today. I've smoked a shit ton of weed. I fucking kicked the soccer ball around. I cleaned a little bit. I did laundry and still am doing laundry. I wasn't gonna do another laundry circulation, but I wanted to get this done because I figured there are some videos in here that I'm gonna have to edit and put songs to. But I figured I could always do that later. But when it comes to auditory, when it comes to being able to speak by myself and do a lot of loud frequencies and all this and all that, there are only certain time spans I'm able to do that per usual. When it comes to doing these types of videos, I have to be able to do it either within certain time parameters inside my car, just somewhere that's not where other people are. So therefore, I'm doing this before I'm doing the video editing, just because, like I said, I can do that any fucking time. These type of videos, I need specific time. So therefore, this video is about another one of my jobs. I don't really remember if it's job 3 or whatever, but I just remembered I said one of these days I was going to do a video about this. Now, what does this mean to me? Not much, because I didn't realize most of my existence that I was doing that job. I just wasn't being paid for it. Because, like I've iterated in some of my videos, that I was taking care of my siblings, I was helping the family, I was being like an emotional regulator, as well as I was physically lifting up my siblings. If not, I was watching them. If not, feeding them. If not, there was multiple things that I was doing that a child wouldn't be doing, shouldn't be doing. Essentially, it's like, oh yeah, like I do get to a certain degree. It does help children get their own autonomy and their own independence, but at the same time, I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for them. I learned how to take care of others, but neglected myself. So therefore, I don't really see getting injured or being hurt or being sick. I don't respect the regards of slowing the fuck down for myself. But like when other people say, hey, slow down for me, I'm like, oh, okay, okay. So you can keep it cool, cool. But for me, it's like I would literally run myself to a point of burning out because I don't know. I feel fine until I don't. That's basically how I feel. Like I'm so used to um, getting so enveloped in the situation that I don't realize that I'm making myself sick, which is why I say on multiple occasions that my work ethic is kind of unhealthy because I'm going to stop on one of two, if not three occasions when the job is done. And there are jobs that cannot or should not be done in one single day. That's not gonna stop me. Two, when my body physically disallows me from doing shit. And then three, when people that are supervising the job projects tell me the job is done. Because, like I said, there are jobs that cannot be done in one day. But if I'm the one that's doing the job and there's no supervisor of the job, I'm, I'm gonna try to get that shit done one day. Now, is it possible? I don't fucking know. I don't know what the fuck impossible is. I just know that the way to spell impossible is spelled IMPOSSIBLE. And I think in impossible, I can find I'm possible in it. So therefore, I don't know until I try it. But there are a lot of things that I don't even attempt to go towards just because inside my head I'm just thinking, this seems like it's gonna be more of a headache than it is going to be what's what I'm looking for, reward. So therefore, what's the point of even enacting something that's just probably gonna annoy the fuck out of me? I assume. Am I always right? Not necessarily, but in the chances and the choices, in instances that I neglect that, I'm figuring out. No, I was right. I was right, which is why 9 times out of 10 when I think like that, I'm just like, yeah, I think I know what I enjoy. I could be wrong. Yes, I could be wrong, but not many times I am. But I am very glad when I am wrong because, well, I'm fucking sick and tired of always fucking being right. Son of a bitch. Either way, so I essentially have way more experience than I initially thought I did when it came to caregiving. I just didn't realize what it was. A lot of ooh, God damn, a lot of things I didn't realize I was doing until I educated myself more to realize what these words, what these actions, what these scenarios, what these scenes were. Because when you aren't informed, when information is gatekept, when the adults aren't essentially supposed to be monitoring you or supervising you, it's just hard to figure out until you figure out for yourself. It's just, I don't know. I'd definitely say TikTok has helped me as well as being on Instagram, just social media in general has helped me become aware to a lot of things that I feel like in a different generation would have just went throughout my whole life not even thinking of, or just being like, oh, wow, this really happened. Like, I would have generally thought all the people I thought were good people, but in reality, no, they're just not good people. They're just good to me, or good in this moment, or it's just I don't have a good, I don't know what the fuck it is. What the fuck, Ethan? So it's just caregiving. I know it's not a consistent tangent, but I figure there's room for all of us. And I think different than you think, and some of us may think the same, but to what extent and to what lengths and to what depths. And that's the issue when it comes to grouping with others, as well as being completely transparent without having to worry about ego issues. It's just, I don't know. Being a caregiver, what's that mean to me? Essentially sacrificing yourself for somebody else in hopes that they heal, but some caregivers know that sometimes you're just caring for them until they die. And I've had many occasions. So I would say before I had a lot of these interactions in a business stand, I had a lot of these at home. Like, I've had siblings that used to shit up their fucking back and shit up the whole entire room. I've had siblings die within the home. I've had siblings attack family members. I've had siblings literally leak their body fluids on you. So therefore, when it came to the professional standpoint, the only thing I had issues with is getting the whole entire professionalism. Because seeing all that nudity, seeing the fluids, going through people being upset at me didn't bother me. I would say the biggest issue that I had was trying to take care of residents while they were in pain. Like, I don't like causing people pain until I do, which is the fucked up part, because like there's a lot of things I don't like it until I do, and then when I like it, it's to the point where it's, what the fuck's wrong with you? And it's like, I extremely am over here, or I'm extremely over there, or I'm extremely I don't care. That's it. I don't know the fucking middle ground for a lot of things. So therefore, it's just like, you either get the oh my god, I'm sorry, or you get shut the fuck up and man up, you little fucking pussy. Come on, I could fucking go through it. Yes, It's not because you're going through it. I'd act the exact same thing if I was going through the exact same pain. I don't give a fuck. I have a different relationship with things than you do, or so I say. Who's to know? We assume we, well, who's we and who's all. Either flipping way. Caregiving, I enjoyed it until I didn't. I feel as if the thing that bothered me the most about it is how much it taxes on the emotional as well as the physical as well as the mental. I feel as if that's just like it's a triple penetration on how it's going to drain you compared to certain jobs. Like right now I'm in junk removal, and I still consider that just to be more of a physically exhausting. Like, yeah, I do communicate with a lot of customers, but how I think about it is 9 times out of 10, I don't deal with customers longer than hour. Literally, I'm in and out of houses more or less 45 minutes a piece. And most jobs, it takes longer for me to drive there than it does to get the job done. But I will admit there are a couple of jobs that are at least 2 or 3 hours long, just because they're hoarder houses or just bigger houses, or items are not wanting to. Why aren't you? How the fuck did you get this shit in here? So it's just that I feel like it's a lot easier because I ain't gotta see you again. 9 times out of 10, most customers, I will admit, I have had some repeat customers. There are literally people I'm like, oh my god. Because I even asked one of my managers, hey, has there ever been a customer, have there ever been customers that you've seen before? He's like, dude, we have an expensive service. People don't call us back. I'm just like, maybe you just don't remember. I'm good with faces, not good with names. But no, I definitely had at least the most consistent customer I've seen was 3 times. I'm just like, god damn it. And I've had at least 2 customers I've seen. Like, I've seen a lot of customers I've seen twice, but 3 is like the most I've ever seen one customer. I'm like, oh my god. And she didn't even remember me until the third time. But like my first time, so I first rolled up there, I'm like, how the fuck do you park up in this bitch? The second time I go there, I'm like, oh fuck, I remember this, because I thought, how the fuck do you park up in this bitch? And then the third time, I'm like, oh fuck. Because honestly, I can't remember how the first time was, but I do remember the second and the third time she has the exact same thing. She gets very snippy and very upset, and I'm confused. I'm like, You've used our services multiple times. Why do you keep calling and bitching at us like you don't know we're gonna be late? Woman, this is like your 5th time using us. 3rd time this year. Okay, actually. She's called 4 times, actually, now I think about it, because 3 times I went on site, and the 4th time I remember actually dispatching the guys to her. And I'm thinking to myself, as soon as I read her name, I'm like, I know exactly who this person is. And I put in my descriptive notes, that way my people get to see the stuff. Call and be in contact with her because she's a snippy person, and we will get a customer complaint from her. I know because I kept calling her, and one day I was being very communicative and trying to let her know, hey, I'm very sorry, things are getting bigger, we're having traffic issues, blah this, blah that. And at one point or another, the last time I called her, she's like, all right, I am done with you calling me. I need you to call me when you are on your way. And I'm just like, this is the call, and this is the call. And she was getting this very snark. I'm just thinking to myself, oh, you're like the fucking 8th, 9th person of the day. How you think I feel? You're sitting here. I get it. And the problem is, because I get that I'm taking away from your day, but I feel as if when people get really snarky at us, it's just like, you're acting like we're just sitting and just waiting. Like, yep, I know your window was from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., but yeah, I'm going to wait until 7 o'clock p.m. to get to you. It's not necessarily that bad, but let's say you have window between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Sometimes we won't get to you till like 1 or 2 o'clock. My bad. Our bad. Some things get shuffled around, things happen, and sometimes there's just so many people that just don't have compassion and care for others, so it just kind of makes me like, I want to care, but if you guys don't care, then what the fuck should I care? How am I going to look foolish? Essentially, kind of like the whole entire line. If your friends jumped off the bridge, would you? If everybody else in the room didn't care, would you? If everybody else cared, would you? If I tried to give a shit, but they didn't want me to, so I said, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm just saying, like, it be how it be. I try to care, but what I've come to learn when it came to caring is some places you have to care differently. And you can care, it doesn't necessarily mean you show the overexpressive how they expect to see care, as well as care is defined and shown differently, so therefore my care and your care might not look the same. And that's what keeps boggling me about existence. How some of the same things show up so differently in everybody's existence. And so long as they like it, we have to respect it. That's plain and simple. But it also brings me to the issue of, are they aware, educated, as well as cognitively connected enough to be able to make these decisions and understand the ramifications of them? Or are they just saying yes just to say yes, no to just say no, and not really knowing what they're saying yes and no to is my always biggest question. It's always what I'm thinking, but I assume we're all competent until I start having conversations. It's just like, well, just because you're dumb about this, it doesn't mean you're dumb about everything. And then sometimes I sit around even longer, and then I'm just like, nope, you're a full-blown idiot. Sometimes, not always. It's very rare that I decide that you're a very, 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 very stupid person. Just because I feel like everybody, to a certain extent, and that's not everybody, because I know it's an all-encompassing term, everybody has some value in existence and has some sort of intelligence, but I've been proven wrong on multiple occasions. Not as often as I'd like to be, but I've been proven wrong. I believe that there's good in this world. Even if it's only coming from me in instances where others allow me to be good, I can be evil. But I'm more of a copycat than I am an instigator. I didn't start this, but I did finish it. And that's because, well, they weren't going to leave me alone unless I did something. And I've always learned through actions over words. My reaction was done the way it was done because of the words that they said, but because you didn't hear them, I'm in trouble for the way that I am. Okay. What is a caregiver to me? A slave to somebody else's emotions, feelings, and reality. I used to be a caregiver. Now I'm somebody that learned to give care to myself. And how do I care for myself? Well, I distance myself from you, whoever you may be, especially when you feel you are too much for me. How dare you tell me that I am being a wimp? How dare you tell me I am being unreasonable? How dare you tell me how much of you I should be able to handle when this is me management? Unless I ask for assistance, please don't bother me. And that is something that I am always learning to do when it comes to what I think helping others is, but if they never ask me for assistance, I'm just bothering them. And I'm doing my best not to bother anybody, including me, because I'm still somebody, even if I don't always believe it. um, I guess to wrap up this message. Rather you let your mind run free, or you control it strictly. Things are going to always happen how they are supposed to be. Just keep walking. Maybe you'll find death that way. Because every time you try to invite death over, it seems to always get the wrong address. Close, but always like 1 to 2 houses over. What does caregiving mean to me? Or what is a caregiver to me? Well, this new definition is somebody that knows how to care for others, but is aware that the best care that they can give to others is to give to themselves first. That way, they can still care for others. Because how can you help others if you aren't helping yourself? So help yourself so you can help others. A broken person cannot do as much as a healed person can do. A broken person thinks they're helping others, but they're breaking them too. A healed person is the only person that can heal persons. And a healed person knows as well that they can't heal persons. It makes them being